is going on, my party people? It's been up to bed. Alright, I'm sorry for screaming at y'all. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Anyway. Now, we're going to talk about this Osborn, Norman Osborn, Oscorp. What role is he going to have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Not just the Spider-Man films, because the Spider-Man films are now going to be tied to this universe. And Norman Osborn is a very, very, very powerful person in the universe, in the comic book universe. He's not only a villain to Spider-Man, he is a villain to all the heroes, and I think they'll really play upon that. So let me tell you, this is first off how he should be portrayed. We should see Norman Osborn as a character who is a cool and serious father. Alright, he should be like Tony Stark, but serious. We should see him be sarcastic. We should see him be actually human. That's how he should be portrayed at first. And we should also be, along with Peter, saying to Harry Osborn, I don't understand why you don't like your father. Us as the audience, we shouldn't be like, he's evil, he's going to be the Green Goblin. Because we don't want to tread that same ground. The audience is tired of seeing the Green Goblin, which is unfortunate and sad because the Green Goblin is to Spider-Man what the Joker is to Batman. He is that main villain, along with Venom, but he is that main villain. And we should not be tired of seeing that main villain because he is crucial to who Spider-Man is as a character. So a good way to do this is for you to gradually get Norman Osborn to the point where he needs to be, or at least gradually do that to the audience. He can already be there, but we shouldn't immediately see him crazy or evil. We should see him gradually get there throughout the movies. When should we first see him in the films? Civil War! I believe we need to see Norman Osborn in the Civil War, at least have his name dropped. Norman Osborn is a prominent and important figure in the Marvel Universe. He is not just important to freaking Spider-Man, okay? We need to have him be important. He needs to be talking about the Registration Act, or his name needs to be dropped, at least in the Civil War film. And Oscorp is this huge conglomerate on the same level of Stark Industries, if not bigger. Norman Osborn is the opposite of Tony Stark. He's like Tony Stark, but as I said, serious. He should not be completely, evil, but he needs to be human in a certain way. He needs to be human. That way, him as a character can be interesting. You can then, when he becomes a Goblin, then you make him straight up like the Joker if you want. You need to have him, when he's the Goblin, be the Goblin. He needs to be the Goblin. Next, when Norman Osborn becomes the Goblin, it should not just be constrained to a Spider-Man film. Remember, this is a universe. Spider-Man is now a part of this universe. The things that happen in his movies affects the entire timeline. Green Goblin does some pretty crazy stuff. He does some real messed up things. And I think that, honestly, we won't see him become the Goblin or become a big threat until after the Infinity Wars film. Because I think that after the Infinity Wars film, they have the chance to actually do a supervillain team versus the Avengers, and that team be led by Norman Osborn, who is again this freaking on Tony Stark intellect level guy who is crazy and evil. At first, we as the audience wouldn't see that, but we would, get to that point. We need to see him be actually evil and ferocious, and we need to see that. And when the time comes, he needs to be the Goblin. Be the actual Goblin and put him in the freaking costume from the comics. Combine the 616 and the Ultimate. Have him actually Hawk out and have him have purple, because we're Goblin. Goblin ain't never wore no purple in the movies. What's up with that? Where the purple at? Give him a hood. Make him look like that. Alright? Norman Osborn needs to be this ferocious character. He needs to be straight up on it. Matter of fact, you can make him smarter than Tony Stark, because then you can showcase how Peter Parker is smarter than Tony Stark. Because Peter Parker is smarter than Tony Stark. Yeah, I said it. What? Fight me, bruh. I got a symbiote. What you gonna do, dawg? What was the head thing? You said that's a dawg. Norman Osborn, he needs to be very, very, very on it. We need to see him, or at least hear his name dropped in Civil War. Have him be in the Spider-Man film, the first one coming out in 2017, but don't have him be a main villain. Don't have him be evil. We can see bits and pieces of him, but again, he should be a human character. He should be someone that we see as cool and serious. And Peter should also be that Harry, you know, like I don't know why you don't like your dad. He's cool. And Harry be like, you just don't understand, Peter. You just don't understand. And maybe we get glimpses of the things Norman Osborn does and the type of person he really is. But he should be a cunning, smart businessman. And he should, you know, he should be able to hold his own. And he should be also the person, when he walks to a room, everybody shuts up because Norman Osborn is here. This dude is an important dude. This dude is freaking, he has that stature of, listen, I'm better than you, but he doesn't have to say it. Unlike Tony Stark, who just says, I'm better than you. Norman Osborn doesn't have to say it because he'll make you realize that he's better than you, and just in the way that he speaks. Norman Osborn should be that type of person. He should be this ferocious dude. I'm telling you, he should be bad. And he should also ripple throughout the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Don't confine him to just a Spider-Man film, especially with this being in a universe, and especially with the type of character that Norman Osborn is. So what do you guys think? Let's have the conversation down there. I really want to talk to you guys about this. I got a video. I'm gonna make a video talking about Aquaman. That Aquaman. Ooh, I got a video talking about the villains in all these Spider-Man films. I got a video coming out talking about J. Jonah Jameson. I got a whole bunch of videos coming out. Also, if you want to hear me talking with Bandit Incorporated, my man Bandit, man. I love that dude. Bandit Incorporated, him and I, we made a video. We were discussing the villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man film, and also just what the rights mean, and with Sinister Six and all that stuff. And yeah, so we talked about all that. That will be in the description below as soon as he uploads it. That way you guys can check that out. And make sure you subscribe to my man Bandit. Bandit Incorporated has an excellent channel. Excellent. I ain't playing with you. I want to thank everybody for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button if you like this video. Dislike if you don't. Share this video around with all of your friends. Maybe Marvel can listen, but I think Marvel already know what they're doing. They just looking at my video like, that boy, he's onto something. Yeah, we weren't thinking of that. So I think Marvel, they got it. But yeah, that's the take that you could take with it. As always, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Like button. Subscribe. More videos coming. No Venom time this Saturday, but Venom time next Saturday. And peace, guys. I love you all. Peace.
Venom 2 million.